Hey guys, thanks for joining me for this Legacy format playoff. Here we have the deck that I decided to register for this event. It's a little different than my previous list that I recorded with, which I believe is right here. So I was talking before about Nimble Mongoose. Some people hate on Nimble Mongoose because it's just a slippery boggle at first and then just becomes a 3/3, which is not exactly keeping up with the power creep. So we have adopted Hex Drinker in that spot. We were having some trouble with Elvish Reclaimer in the leagues. As I mentioned, the Dark Depths decks are really good right now, and Elvish Reclaimer can be a big problem for this deck. So we decided to go with a threat that can block it relatively early on, and then just punch through a Merit Lage if you're swinging 6 for lethal. Picked up the third Ren and 6 and a Lonely Sandbar to go with that, going up to 19 lands. I was really skeptical about Lonely Sandbar at first. This is the blue cycling land. But, in my testing, I had several games where I had Red and 6 and Lonely Sandbar, and I was drawing an extra card every turn. So, obviously that's something that we're interested in. We moved the Force of Negation to the main deck to go along with these other pieces of counter magic, cutting the stifles. I think in a really competitive event like this, you're gonna get people less with stifle, especially because I think the rug decks in general are on people's radar. So the third Tarmogoyf also respecting the Elvish Reclaimer decks. Magmatic Sinkhole instead of the Dismember. I think this is just a more flexible card. Has a little more application than Dismember, which really only matters against creatures, at least if your opponent's on some kind of slow control deck, you have a main deck way to just kill their Planeswalker, their Ren and 6, their Jace or something for 1 mana, so I really like that a lot. No other changes, still playing the 2 Snares, 2 Pierces, 2 True Names, Daze Force, all that stuff. In the sideboard we have some interesting stuff. We're going with a Crop Rotation package again to respect the Dark Depths decks. So having the Crop Rotation for Caracas to deal with Merit Lage is pretty good. Yeah, when Ren and 6 first came out, when I would run into the Depths decks in the leagues, I would just crush them pretty easily. Just Wasteland, buyback Wasteland, and pressure was enough. But now with Reclaimer, and with the deck getting a little more streamlined and focused, leaning into the Mox Diamond plan, it's harder to really interact with them with Wasteland or soft counter magic. So having Crop Rot for Caracas is a really good way to kind of have 2 angles of attack along with the Wastelands to keep them off Merit Lage. Also, for that matchup and a number of others, we have Veil of Summer. Interesting card. If your opponent has cast a blue or black spell, you draw a card, and your spells can't be countered, and you and permanents you control gain hexproof from blue and black until end of turn. So this has a lot of applications against discard decks, against decks where you want to be sure that you win the counter war, against Storm. If they, a lot of times Storm will save its discard spells for the turn they want to go off, and you not only Cryptic Command the discard spell, but also take away their line to win with Tendrils of Agony. The rest of the sideboard is pretty much the same. I decided to play Rough and Tumble over the no, I'm sorry, I was playing Rough and Tumble the whole time. I was experimenting with Electrickery, and in a league the other day, but I think that Rough Tumble, for a reason, is been the stock sweeper for the Delver lists. We added a Sylvan Library. I think is going to be really good in any of the grindy matchups, and a Blue Blast to go along with the two Red Blasts as I was playing before. I think that's just a pretty well. Blue Elemental Blast is better positioned than it ever has been, really, with so many powerful red cards running around. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos, and I hope this playoff goes well. See you in the first round.